Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn chapter 4 Tick Tick Tick. From the name of the chapter itself, we could identify that we are going to learn about time. In olden days, before the analog or the digital clock came into existence, sundial was used. The shadow of the dial given over here will fall on the number from which the time was calculated. When light falls on object, shadow is formed, right? So when sunlight falls on this dial, the shadow of the dial here falls on the lines given over here from which the time was calculated. This is an analog clock. A clock has a dial. It is divided into 12 subdivisions and it has 3 hands: hour hand, minute hand and the seconds hand. Nowadays digital clocks are found everywhere. It tells us the time easily. Just by seeing the clock you can read the time and you can tell the time. The first two numbers before the colon tells the hours. After the colon it represents minutes. Though digital clocks are found everywhere, still we have analog clocks in our houses, right? So we should know how to read time from the analog clock. So in a clock, there are 12 main divisions, and between each two numbers there are 5 subdivisions. So if you count each, so there are 12 multiplied by 5. So there are 60 small subdivisions, which means there are 60 minutes, and these 60 minutes make 1 hour. So there are 60 minutes in an hour. Similarly, there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. Pamposh and Sazia were discussing. These two are discussing about the duration taken by them to reach their school. So discussion is going on. Pamposh says, I have to walk for 5 minutes to reach school. Whereas Sashia says, I just walk for 2 minutes to reach school. Impossible. Your home is farther from school, says Pamposh. But I checked my watch, replied Sashia. I start for school at 7 o'clock. Look at the clock here. The shorthand points at 7 and the long hand is at 12. It means it is 7 o'clock. She says the correct time. When I reach school, the minute hand points at 2. So, shouldn't it be 2 minutes past 7 or 7:02? Look at the clock now. The shorthand is at 7, the long hand is at 2. So she feels that she reaches by 7 2. You're wrong. You reach school at 7:10, said Pamposh. How? Questioned Shazia. Pamposh started explaining. Can you see these thin lines between the numbers? Yes. So what? The minute hand moves across 10 lines after 12. So it is 10 minutes past 7 or 7:10. So this number on the clock's face is used to represent hours, whereas for minutes we have to look out the small subdivisions. So from 12 to 2 there are 10 subdivisions, right? So it is 7:10. 10 minutes past 7. So Pamposh tried to make Sashia understand the time. He also says, I start for school at 7. I reach at 7:05. See, the minute hand moves across 5 lines. So Pamposh tried to make Sashia understand and read the time correctly. Now look here. There are two different clocks given here. The first clock tells the time as 3:35 and the second clock shows 3:15. 50. Now the question here is, how many minutes did the hour hand take to move from 7 to 10? Okay, so from 7 it had gone to 10. How many minutes did it take? So we know that the duration between each number is 5 minutes. So 5, 10, 15. So it took 15 minutes to reach from 7 to 10. One more sum similar to that. Now look at the clock. The first picture shows 3:40. The second picture shows 4 o'clock. So from 3:40 to 4, how long did it take for the minute hand to move from 8 to 12? So it was at 8, it had gone to 12. So we have to count in fives because the duration between each two numbers is 5 minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So it took 20 minutes for the long hand to move from 8 to 12. Now we are going to draw the hands for the given clock. 20 minutes after 6 o'clock. So the short hand, that is the hour hand, should lie between 6 and 7 because it is after 6 o'clock. And to draw the long hand, minute hand, we have to count in fives. 5, 10, 15, 20. So the long hand should be exactly pointing at 4. So it is 20 minutes after 6 o'clock. We are going to represent 10 minutes after 7 o'clock. So after 7 o'clock, so the shorthand should be after 7, that is in between 7 and 8, and you count for 10. 10 minutes, nobody will go wrong because Shasya went wrong, right? Yeah, so the long hand should point exactly at 2. So it is 10 minutes after 7 o'clock. See you soon in part 2. Please subscribe, like and share it to your friends. Thank you.